is both a combination of a platform and a mobile application. And what we do, Jim just said, we want to change the way people consume goods, products, and services. But the best way to understand this is by telling you a story. I wanted to meet Mary. You cannot see him, but you can know a bit more about him. Basically, he has a problem. He owns a restaurant. The restaurant is quite nice, but it's only full Fridays and Saturdays. So he has to have a sustainable business. There are other issues. He can't find his customers. It was not supposed to look like this, but even if he does, he doesn't know who they are. Even worse, he can't keep them. So he can launch a sort of campaign in Groupon, he gets customers, but he doesn't get the customers there again. But his biggest problem is efficiency. Why? Because most of the time the restaurant is empty. He has stock with food, he has to pay employees, and this is bad. This is a problem. Actually, this is a big problem. I wanted to meet someone else that's not here as well. You can know a bit more about her. She's a student, she doesn't have much money, so she has to eat fast food. She works at night, she doesn't have time to cook, and this is also a problem due to the crisis, of course. What if there was a way to merge the needs from these two people, or these two actors, and try to find a way to make them both happy? Well, with Mobitto, you can. Why? Because we allow you to offer targeting. Targeting, I'm not just saying about demographics. You can say, I want this offer to be available for people between 18 and 25, just female or male, but you can go a bit further. You can say, only for people with more than 500 Facebook friends, for example. And you can do it in real time when they actually need it. So you have an empty restaurant, you press the button, the offer is there. And it's valid for a number of people that you can actually choose, and it's available for the time that you want. So imagine you have a bar, you only need a couple of customers to attract other customers, so you press it and it will be valid. And we do it by taking your privacy terms into account. So you can actually choose which data is available to them so they can use the targeting. So who do we want to target? First, we tackle entertainment industry, everything to do with tickets. Cinemas, theaters, shows, sports, concerts, whatever. And then we want to focus on niche markets and last minute deals. I will show you afterwards how we tackle each one of them. We have different channels. The first one we do through partnerships with partner stores, where they actually pull out our service, and in exchange they get more customers. It's another channel for them. And the other is through communities, where users can actually say, okay, this would be interesting in something that I like, so I'll try to push that community onward. And then, of course, we pay some sort of commission to people or partners that help us out. We offer basically a simple solution with relevant content at a fair price. We'll go to that later on. And we have a mobile application that you cannot see here. This is how the prototype looks like. You can see basically the merchant. You can see the type of offer that we have. Until when is it valid? How many people have used it, or how many we still have left, the distance, and you can take it to the deal. You can actually share it with your friends. You can redeem it. You can see the conditions. It generates a voucher which you can save for later use. You don't have to have internet. You can see where it locates, and the merchant just has to scan it or insert the code. To publish, it's as simple as that. So you can save your stores. You just put what you want to share, and that's it. How do you get money, or how we make money? By transaction. So the customer or the merchant only pays when someone goes to the shop and buys something. And the fee for this transaction varies depending on you put a lot of context in the personalization or the targeting or not. So the more you put, obviously the more expensive. And we have some subscription models which have bundles of different types of content. Our team has startup experience. We come from different backgrounds, but all of us have some sort of engineering background. Our vision, go social, change mindset, the way people consume goods, because we want actually in the future users to set up the prices and merchants try to target them, and we actually foresee that people are willing to pay for this. Now it's your turn. We have an MVP. Under our calculations, you'll break even soon, so we don't need much money. Thank you very much.
how do you collect the money from the stores?
Okay. Basically, we are not involved in transactions here. We have developed a sort of game dynamics and a social system. Each user can only use one deal at a time. So if he expresses the will to get the deal, so he doesn't redeem, he saves for himself, and this some sort of allows him or doesn't allow him to use the coupon again unless it's redeemed. So he has to press the merchant to somehow redeem the deal, otherwise he can't use it anymore. The other way, we have some sort of social rewarding like Foursquare has. So your interest is to use the more often you use, the better it is. There are other mechanisms such as once you start using the app, you can actually only see within a 1 kilometer radius, and as you move forward, as you use more the app, the radius will grow and you can actually use it in different ways. So we have sort of game dynamics and social dynamics applied to it, which help us to stay out of the transaction, which I think it's a burden and we don't want to be there.
I still don't understand how the money gets to you. Do you
well, basically we have they sort of charge, or it can be postpaid, an account with us, and every time a deal is redeemed, it's discounted from the money they put in our accounts.
So you may have said this, but the consumer downloads the app through those channel, learns about the app through those channel promotions.
Yeah, the app is available at App Store and Royal Market.
But the way they learn about it is through the channel.
Yeah, exactly.
And
or their friends.
And they get to set the terms, like what merchants they might hear from, or what categories of merchants.
Yeah. Right now we just say which data is possible to get, but in the future, yeah, that's our goal.
So based on that data, they can get offers from any merchant.
Exactly.
So you must get asked this kind of thing a lot, but the challenge in this space is there's lots of people trying to do this sort of thing. You say you're targeting break-even in 2 years. What kind of evidence do you have to suggest that you'll actually be one of the few that rise and actually make money out of this?
Well, obviously, this is just estimation and projections based on the cost structure that we have and based on the sales prediction, although we are not live yet. Let me tell you how we think we are different from others, and that will help us to do this. Like I told you, we have two ways of doing it. Through partnerships, and when I say partnerships, I say about banks, telecom providers, which already own the relationship with customers, and they want to innovate, put new services on them. And the other is through niche communities, where actually you, users, will try to push the things that you like into the community. So I was asked for a person say, I really would like to see this for vegetarian restaurants. And I asked, would you mind talking to the restaurants yourself and see what happens? And it's actually started to happen this way. And this is how we want to position ourselves. It's like a sandwich model. You will get it from the big players and also from the small players. And hopefully we will be different from what exists nowadays.
Great, thank you. Have you done any market research to suggest that this is likely to work?
Well, this is actually a spin-off from a PhD, which I've been working on the last 3 years. It's basically on advertisement for real-time next-generation networks. It's a bit more complex than this, but actually what I try to do is try to use what's applicable to the real world, because people don't want to get advertising fees. They just don't want it. If they can get the offer, they just get the offer.